What is up, everybody? How's it going? Austin Prechtelevate Performance, coming at you live. Happy Wednesday, winning Wednesday. As you are all tuning in, share a win in the chat. Let me know a win that you had today. Let me know that you had a win. Because, like I said, it's winning Wednesday. And we're going to get this thing kicked off here in just a second. As you're tuning in, though, feel free to give this video a like, say hi in the comments so I know that you're watching. If you're watching this later time, hashtag replay so that way I know that you saw it. But today, we're going to be talking about something important, something very important that I've had to deal with recently, that I'm sure many of you have had to deal with in the past in your own journey, maybe in your own life. And that is the concept of advocating, being your own advocate for your health journey, right? For your health journey or for other health things too. Maybe not necessarily for fitness journey or for workouts or things like that, or like, having your self-care time. But we're going to be talking about that today because not a lot of us do that for ourselves. Not a lot of us stand up for ourselves. Not a lot of us, advocate for ourselves when it comes to getting the help that we need, either through a health or fitness journey or through a doctor or whatever it may be. And so I'm going to talk about this today. And I want to preface with this: at the end of the day, right? You are the only one responsible for your own health and happiness, right? If you knock on a door and it's not the right door, you have to go find another door, right? If you go to a doctor and they're a total dick to you, you need to go find a different doctor, right? That's your choice. Yes, is it frustrating? Oh, absolutely. It is a pain in the ass. The healthcare system in the U.S. is a joke in my mind, and it sucks, right? It's a huge pain in the ass to get help with things. But what I'm going to talk about today is why it's so important that you don't give up, why you continue to press on and show up for yourself by advocating for yourself. So, does that all make sense, though? Does that all make sense? Like, who here has felt like they had a health issue, or they were sick, or they wanted to work towards their health goals, but they were maybe not taken seriously by their doctor, right? Or maybe they weren't taken seriously by their significant other, or maybe they weren't taken seriously by a family member or a friend or whatever it may have been. And because of that, they made you out to feel like you were either a hypochondriac, or maybe make you out to feel like you were you're crazy for wanting to do this or whatever it may be, right? Advocate for yourself, because this happens, right, with our health journeys, right? Maybe with our working out, with nutrition, with health, potential health issues, and you get gaslit, right? Doesn't feel freaking good to get gaslit. It's absolutely frustrating. And I'm going to be honest, I actually did not, I didn't even know what the term gaslighting meant until I was like in my like early 20s, believe it or not. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what it meant. And to be honest, and to be fully transparent, there were probably times in my life whenever I was like a teenager and things like that, that I did gaslight. And I was like, oh shit, like that's a terrible thing to do. Like, what the heck? Didn't even know I was doing it at times, probably. And now that I do know, it's one of those things that really pisses me off. I hate being gaslit. I hate it whenever I see other people gaslighting other people. I hate it whenever I see people gaslighting my clients, because that does happen when they're being gaslit by their spouses or maybe their friends or whatever it may be. And it pisses me off. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today, because I'm pretty passionate about this. And I'm going to talk about something that happened to me recently, whenever I was gaslit, and why it's really freaking important to get another opinion, to go to a different doctor, to take control, right? Because at the end of the day, the pen is in our hands, right? We are the only ones responsible for our own health and happiness, right? We can't put that on anybody else, because once we do that, we give up control, we give up our power, right? And so, for me, recently, not even recently, for the last like 2 years, I have been struggling with my testosterone levels and things like that have been going on. I talked about it a lot more probably a couple of years ago than I have recently, because I got caught up in building my business. I got caught up in a lot of things, but it started having more of a detrimental effect on me. Especially for these last couple of months, between that and potentially, maybe having like a random like virus, I felt pretty bad. I'm starting to feel a lot better now, more recently, but like I felt really bad. I felt really tired, lethargic. My workouts were sucking. Like I did not feel very good, very tired all the time. Like I'll getting injured a lot more the last couple of years than I normally do. Honestly, just overall, my body composition has not been at its prime, right, compared to what it had been in the past, in my opinion. And so, you know, but I've kept keep putting in that work, right? And I encourage you all, if you're watching this, keep putting in that freaking work, right? Keep putting in that freaking work, even if it's not optimal, because one, you're going to be building habits, you're going to be building skills, you're going to be building tenacity and discipline during that period of time. So I think it's still important. I don't think it, at any given point, I think, is it a good idea to hit the F it button and quit and be like, this, what's the point in doing this? Because it's not optimal, or because I feel bad, or I'm sick, or whatever it may be, or I don't feel good, right? Because building these things are going to, basically set your environment up, or set you up for like even greater success once you do get things figured out, for your journey or for your health or whatever it may be. But for me, I and I'm going to talk about this in a sec, but you need to get and make sure that you have a good doctor, right? That knows what the hell they're doing, right? Because even though somebody has a title and went to school, doesn't make them good at their job, right? We've all worked with a coworker who sucked, who didn't do what they were supposed to do, or were just really bad at their job, right? We've all had coworkers like that before. The same thing applies to people in the medical field, right? Same thing applies to people who are engineers. There's bad engineers out there. There's bad doctors out there. There's bad people who just don't do a very good job at their job. Just because they have a title or because they went to school for a period of time doesn't mean jack shit. It doesn't. I'm just going to throw it out there. Yeah, they're probably more qualified than your average person. This is not me saying that like everybody out there who went to school, or everybody out there who, because I went to college, right? Everybody out there who's got you know a title is bad. There are amazing doctors out there. There's a spectrum of it, right? There's incredible doctors out there. There's incredible veterinarians out there. There's incredible, engineers out there. There's incredible writers out there. But there's also people who are shit at their job in all of those fields too. And you have to be careful. You have to advocate for yourself, because nobody else is going to do it for you other than you. And so when that happens, right? When that happens, it comes down to, even if you have to travel or go outside of your insurance, look at it as an investment in your life and quality of life. Did you guys know that, and I'm probably preaching to the choir here, because a majority of, my followers and people that I talk to and, who are interested in my stuff are women, because I work with a lot of women. But did you know, women are way more likely to not be prescribed pain meds, and to whenever they're in pain, or to not be taken seriously by doctors, right? There's a bias in the medical community of more women being gaslit for their problems and for their illness and things like that than men are. It's just there's been studies done on it. It's a fact. There's also a higher chance that women will be prescribed psychiatric medication if they go to the ER, because they're being dubbed, maybe they're too emotional, or, layman's terms, being extra or over the top, right? And being gaslit in that sense. That happens. That's how things are. There's a like a sex bias in the medical community, right? And this happens. And so, if you're a woman watching this right now, you probably have to advocate for yourself even harder. You may have had to advocate for yourself even harder in the past, which is unfortunate. But these biases exist, and so we need to make sure that we're staying on top of this shit, so that way we get the help that we need, whether that be from a medical professional, or from like advocating for yourself with your family or your spouse or whoever it may be for your goals, right? Because your shit matters. You need to take control and bring it, and take and keep that power, because, and not give that shit up, because when you do, you make yourself powerless. I see a comment here. It's so sad and true. Same with mental health. Oh yeah, mental health is crazy. Mental health gaslighting is horrible. It is horrible. And for somebody who was diagnosed with clinical depression, I knew I had fucking depression. Who was diagnosed with clinical depression last year? It's fucking bonkers how shit mental health treatments and things like that are, how bad it is, and how hard it is to get the help that you need, right? I was supposed to have a neuropsych appointment, just to be transparent, Last month, I was supposed to have a neuropsych, or not last month, in December. I got a referral. You know how long it takes? It's gonna take. They said it would take for me to see anybody over a year before I could get any potential be seen by anybody. A whole fucking year of dealing with my own shit like that. Like, and more people have way more serious issues than I had on, right? And it's like a full fucking year to be seen by somebody. Are you shitting me? Like, you know how hard that is? Like, yeah, I could talk about this all day. But what in my specific situation, and this is just kind of like a tale of like why it's important to advocate for yourself, is that and I guess this is just a good time as ever to talk about it. I'm very likely going to be going on hormone replacement therapy here in the next couple of months. Very likely to be. And it's been a long time coming, right? I've been symptomatic as hell of having low testosterone for a variety of reasons. I'll leave it up to your own imagination what those things could include. But I am likely going to be on like hormone replacement therapy for my low testosterone because of all these things. But you know how long it freaking took to find somebody that took me fucking seriously? You know how long it took? It's been like 2 years. It's been like 2 years of trying to advocate for myself and to be like, I was gaslit by, and I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with, them being like women doctors or not, but I was gaslit by my previous doctor, didn't fucking take me seriously. I got gaslit by the endocrinologist that I went to. That I had to pry and pester the shit out of my doctor to actually get me a referral to in the first place because I was like, I know more about this shit than you do. Help me out here. Let me fucking like do what needs to be done. And because I do, and that's not their job. That's not their specialty, right? Go to the endocrinologist again, essentially get gaslit and get told like, yeah, no, you have lower testosterone than for a guy your age, which at that time was probably around the amount for like a 70 to 80-year-old man. But they base a lot of these things off of the average person currently, which unfortunately is very unhealthy. And also low testosterone. So it's one of those things where I had to advocate for myself, and they said, yeah, well, yeah, you have it. It's low, but we'll check it again in 6 months. 6 months of me feeling like shit. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate, right? Like 6 months of feeling like crap. I have to deal with this shit for 6 more months of feeling like not like myself and feeling exhausted all the fucking time. What kind of treatment is that? Like how does that help me or solve my problem? And so so that happened, right? Um, flash forward, like, and they refused to even consider it, right? And told me to check back in 6 months. And so with that kind of mentality, and that's at a minimum that I would have to wait 6 months, right? At a minimum. And so that was a year and a half ago that I had that last appointment with that endocrinologist. And part of that, why this is kind of coming full circle finally, is because I came to a point where I was like, I can't keep like living like this and feeling like this all the time. I deserve to live an optimal life. And everybody here watching right now, you deserve to live an optimal life too. You shouldn't have to feel like crap or jump through hoops on a daily fucking basis just to either get what's get taken seriously by a medical professional, or advocate or have to do that to get in shape, or to have a little bit of fucking time to yourself to work out or exercise or eat healthy or meal prep or whatever it may be. You shouldn't have to do that. But sadly, a lot of people do. A lot of people are in shitty relationships. A lot of people are in positions where they don't feel like they have control. But I want to let you know that you do have fucking control. You do have a choice, and you can make that choice. But you have to make that choice for yourself because nobody's going to do that for you. And so so that was a year and a half ago for me. And now, thankfully, we're kind of in the position more so now where we can go, where I was able to go through a more like a private route, a private company outside of our insurance, pain in the ass. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at it as like, this is an investment for my health. This is an investment for me to feel good and to be the best version of myself for me, for my family, for my clients. And so, that's what I'm doing. And so I did what needed to be done. Lo and behold, I get checked again. Six, no, a year and a half later, I weigh, 15, 20-ish pounds more because I was cutting. which is, in my mind, I was like, maybe that had something to do with why my testosterone was low. Year and a half, 2 years later, I weigh 15 to 20 pounds more. I'm in more of a caloric surplus than I was by then, for sure. I've been maintaining around this weight. I been getting more dietary fat, all these other things. I take zinc, I take all these other things to help account for it and do as much as possible. I strength train, all this other stuff that should support a healthy testosterone level. And lo and behold, it's even lower than it was before. And so, again, reaffirming what I thought was going on all along. And this time around, I actually had doctors who knew what the fuck they were talking about, who are up to date on the most current research, who care about, optimizing somebody's life, who care about, you know, helping people feel good, like, and not basing it off of whatever biases they may have had or gaslighting and things like that. And so I encourage you. Yes, there are shitty doctors out there. Yes, there are shitty engineers. There's shitty everybody out there in every profession. There's good and bad people at their jobs, but there are good people out there. And so I encourage you, if you're watching this right now and you have not felt heard, or you felt gaslit, or you felt like you weren't taken seriously, either for something medically or for your health and your fitness journey or your weight loss journey, you have to do something about it. You have to advocate for yourself. If you're in a shitty relationship right now, get the fuck out of your shitty relationship. Do the best you can to try and help them see your side and help them empathize and support you. But if they don't, sorry, that ain't a good relationship. I'm sorry. Same with the doctor. If they're not helping you out and it's like beating a dead horse and it's like trying over and over again to get them to see what you want and they're not helping you and they're not doing anything, get a new fucking doctor. You don't have to work with those people. You don't have to be in a relationship with those people. You don't, right? It's tough, but it's worth it. And so, yeah, I saw a comment here on Instagram. I'm gonna read real quick. It seems they just want to cover up the mental health issues with medication stuff. Actually, got yeah, no, yeah, and it's tough, and we're gonna be faced with an even crazier mental health crisis probably in the over the next 6 months as things start to kind of reopen and things like that. Hopefully it'll get better, but who knows? Pandemic was pretty crazy, but yeah, guys. So that's all I got for you guys today, and so hopefully now I mean it looks very likely that I'm going to be able to get the help that I need. And I hope and I encourage you to fight for your and advocate for your health, right? Advocate for, the optimal life that you deserve to live, right? Nobody should have to feel like shit for the rest of their lives, whether that be from something medical or whether that be from your health journey or your fitness journey. You shouldn't have to feel that way. I encourage you to not. But at the end of the day, I can't do it for you. Nobody else can do it for you. You have to do it for you, right? So I hope that this was helpful. Hope that this was valuable. I hope that you got something out of this, and I appreciate it for tuning in. Let me know your number one takeaway, and feel free to share your own experience in the past that you may have had to have dealt with. Because when you open up about your own struggles in the past, it helps others see that they're not alone. It helps others kind of shine a light and be maybe feel inspired to stand up for themselves and advocate for themselves. So. I see a comment here. When will I announce the giveaway winner? 6 p.m. PST tonight. 6 p.m. PST tonight. That is something I forgot to mention. So yeah, giveaway still going on. You still have the last. Let's see. You can enter until 4 p.m. PST, which is I'm bad at math, so it's however many hours away. That's like probably like 4 hours away now, 5 hours away, something like that. Because it's like 10. I don't know. So no, 6 hours away. It's about 5 or 6 hours away. 4 p.m. PST is the last time that you can enter the giveaway. And then at 6 p.m. PST, I will be announcing the winner. So make sure to go follow the rules on the follow the steps on the post that we did. And yeah, I encourage everybody to do it if it's something that you're interested in. We've had such a large amount of support for it. A lot of people entering. I'm so excited to choose a winner. It's going to be tough. There's been so many incredible whys, incredible reasons, and I really appreciate everybody for sharing their whys and the reasons. And yeah, looking forward to helping some people out. But if no matter what, regardless of what happens, if you did enter, just know that you're still worthy and deserve to pursue a fitness journey, health journey, no matter what the case, even if you win or don't win. And so. Yeah, I encourage you to be on top of that. So other than that, though, that's all I got for you guys today. Happy Winning Wednesday. Feel free to share a win. Feel free to share this video for somebody that might need to hear it. Tag people in the comments, whatever it may be. And don't forget to give a like to this video so other people get the chance to see it. Helps with the algorithm. And Other than that, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. Peace, love, protein, and I'll talk to you all